Norman coming at you from angrylemongaming with a champion guide on Cassiopeia. Sorry the Friday video is a little bit late. I had some personal things I had to get done. And Saturday I was doing the same, so this video is actually coming out on a Sunday, which this won't become a normal occurrence. It's just a one-time deal. We'll resume the Monday, Wednesday, Friday coming up tomorrow. Cassiopeia is an AP carry. She specializes in a lot of the AoE type abilities and spamming her abilities very, very quickly. Her Q I always pick up first, which is Noxious Blast, which is much like Karthus's Q, which makes a little puff of snakes that does AoE damage, and if it hits a champion, it increases your movement speed. I always purchase a Sapphire Crystal first, which will give me more mana and more sustain in the lane, because she is rather spammy, and you use mana pretty quick on her. While I move to my lane, I'm going to talk about the other abilities. Her W is Miasma, which makes this circle on the ground, which every time something passes through it, it deals magic damage over time for 2 seconds, and it slows them by 15% at rank 1. If you stand in it, it keeps applying that dot on you, so you can have it on you for a very, very long time. Her E is Twin Fang, which does direct damage, and if the target is poisoned, then the cooldown is reduced to 0.5 seconds. Her ultimate, she turns much like Medusa and screams, and anybody that is facing her is stunned for a brief period of time, and anybody that is facing away from her is slowed for a period of time. And it also does quite a bit of damage, so it can be used as a damage dealer or as a just a stun, a CC type ability. What I do with her is I'm normally heavy harass. I can harass from a long ways away with her Noxious Blast, which I rank up as quickly as possible. Her skilling order, I go Q, R, Q, E, W. So I always rank up my Q when I can. It'll be maxed at 9. Then I rank up my ultimate, of course, anytime I can at 6, 11, and 16. I rank up my E whenever I can after that, because your E is a very, very high damage, direct damage thing. With the exception of level 4, I pick up 1 point in Miasma, so I have that ability. The nice thing with Cassiopeia is if you're getting chased, you can easily drop your Miasma, hit them with a Noxious Blast, and be able to get away from almost any champion because you move so fast. With boots, you move very, very quickly. Like there, that was 1 Noxious Blast and 1 Twin Fang. Of course, I'm higher level than her because I got that early double kill. But her abilities late game, you tend to spam your abilities pretty hard because of the short cooldowns on them. I would recommend going heavy into AP items. I usually start with Catalyst of the Protector, which will give you more sustain in the lane because you can get your mana back every time you level and hit points back. You can also go into Archangel Staff if you deem it necessary for the mana regen and for the lane sustain from that mana regen, and you gain mana every time, and you can go right into an Archangel Staff, which gives you a whole bunch of AP, which AP is very, very strong on Cassiopeia because of her AP ratios. They're not extremely high, but they're good enough to be effective. Here I'm going to use my ult and get that kill. Her ultimate does a lot of damage at level 6. It's really, really strong. Just at level, well, when you hit level 6 and you have 1 rank in it, it's 200 plus 17 right now magic damage. and it's a 2-second stun. So it's a very long time, or a pretty long time for a stun. Right here I'm going to pick up my Catalyst of the Protector. I'm also going to pick up Sorcerer's Shoes. The reason I pick up Sorcerer's Shoes over cooldown reduction is because I like to have that extra magic pen, because you can do additional damage, of course. And with people being poisoned and your E cooling down to 0.5 seconds all the time, you can spam your abilities really strong. Right now I have 9% cooldown reduction, as you can see. My Q at level 3 is a 2.73 second cooldown, so it's pretty spammable. Of course my E is a 0.5 second reduction, of course, because of the alternate ability on it, so you can kind of hit that quite a bit. Your Q, I didn't really go into it, but I named it kind of like Karthus's Q, but what it does is anywhere your cursor is, you don't have to click or anything, it just automatically makes the cloud there. So you gotta kind of lead people, because it takes a second for it to explode, but once it explodes it does a lot of damage to everything. It helps to, you can clear minions really quick, you can push lanes really hard. But what I normally use it for is to harass, because the range is so big on it. If you can see that circle, it's a half a screen or so. So it's a pretty good sized range, so you can really harass, and you can harass behind towers because of the range, because of the fact the range is so big. Use my ult to stun Annie and get that kill on her. Pretty easy stuff there. Cassiopeia doesn't get played very often. That's how I say her name, at least. I don't know if that's the grammatically right way to say it, but she doesn't get played very often because of her high skill cap. She takes a long time to master. I think I've played numerous games with her over the past couple of weeks, days, and I'm getting pretty decent with her. One thing I didn't go over is her passive, which, shame on me, but her passive is, after casting a spell, her next spell cast costs 10% less for 5 seconds, and it stacks up to 5 times. So it makes her spamming ability effective, because you're not going to just spam and go You're not going to go out of mana like immediately. You're going to still have mana to keep that harass up. Here I'm going to show you, if somebody tries to run away, you can pop your miasma behind them, start spamming on them, and then miasma will slow them, and with your Q you're going to be sped up, so you're going to catch them and kill them. Pretty easy stuff there. Pretty self-explanatory too. If you can keep that passive stacked up pretty well, you can spam almost indefinitely when you get higher level. If your team comp allows it, you want to try to get your blue buff if you can, or a blue buff, because again, she is kind of mana intensive because you are spamming abilities, and the cooldown reduction does help. I would not focus on cooldown reduction because her cooldowns are pretty slow with just 9%. My highest cooldown is my ultimate, which is 118 seconds, which, if that, you're not going to get that off. You'll get it a little bit lower, but it's not going to be crazy low. Again, we're going to use my ult to stun it, slow Annie that time actually, and there's the kill on her. And now I'm going to B one more time to discuss other items. With your Catalyst of the Protector, you have two options. You can either go into a Rod of Ages if you feel that you need more damage and you're not getting harassed and they don't have much CC and they're not that mean of a team, or you can go into Banshee's Veil, which is what I recommend, is going to Banshee's Veil, because you still get that health and mana. You also get magic resist, and it has that Banshee's Veil bubble, which will block one enemy's ability every 45 seconds, which Banshee's Veil is just an awesome item. I'm going to go over that in the Law Shop, the next Law Shop, I believe on Friday. Or on Wednesday, sorry. No, Friday. On Wednesday I will go into the Banshee's Veil. And then I always try to get a Rabadon's death cap fairly quick because of the ability power ratios on that. It's super strong.
You're no fun.
So that's Cassiopeia. If you guys have any questions on her, please comment below. Give us a subscribe up top to let us know that you're interested in seeing more guides. And the question I have today is, what champion would you like to see a guide for? I will purchase them if I don't already own them. I don't own every champion. There's a few I don't own. But what champion guide do you guys want to see? And I'll make sure that I can get that out right away. I will see you guys on Monday. And you guys have a great day. I'm feeling a little under the weather. I've been drinking some orange juice. But you guys have a great day, and I'll check you next time.